あのポケモンたちと一緒に新しくなった冒険へ出かけよう。ポケットモンスターファイアレッドとリーフグリーン、ワイヤレスアダプタ付き。
With the all-new wireless adapter that comes with Pokémon FireRed and Pokémon LeafGreen.
There's a new way to battle Pokemon, and it's wireless. Pokemon FireRed and Pokemon LeafGreen are here, and now you can collect, train, and battle in a whole new way, only for Game Boy Advance, rated E for everyone.
Hey, it's me, Zilik. It's no secret that what I am most interested in when it comes to Pokemon are the video games. Despite being younger than the franchise, I felt as if I grew up alongside the franchise. As a tiny fox, I didn't really have that much experience with video games, but to be fair, I was around 4 or so when I played my first ever video game. Back then, I was at my aunt's house, and one of my cousins gave me said first video game, which is none other than Pokémon FireRed. It was something new to me, so I didn't really think much of it much more than a toy of sorts, but little did my tiny brain know that it's what sparked my biggest interest of all time. It's all thanks to the remakes of Red and Blue, FireRed and LeafGreen. Guess Water Blue was already taken. It's interesting how I started with the remake as my first game. Oh yeah, the video game remake. Basically take an older game and enhance it up on newer hardware. It's been a thing for a while now. Now what's the history of these remakes? Well, around 2002 and 2003 there were plans for a remake of the first game, Red and Blue, which will be in the same engine as Ruby and Sapphire. How about we check this out? It's from a GBA lineup trailer on January of 2004.
さらに進化したポケモンの世界。捕まえたポケモンを育ててバトル。目指すは最強のポケモントレーナー。さらにワイヤレスアダプタで無線通信。ポケモンの世界がもっと広がる。ポケットモンスターファイアレッドリーフグリーン。
Honestly, I thought it was very interesting to see a beta version of Professor Oak. Let's talk about that name change. Originally, it was Red and Green in Japan. However, when releasing them in the United States, Game Freak went with Red and Blue since, well, they're much more popular colors in the West, like how the American flag is red and blue. Blue was technically the third version over in Japan. Now, does Pokemon Yellow count as the fourth version in Japan since it's the third version over here? Yes, even some gaming news outlets were talking about the name staying true to the originals from the franchise's homeland. Let's see, what new features has FireRed and LeafGreen added? Improved PC, savvy islands, abilities thanks to the other Gen 3 game. Women, the characters have nice new designs, including a female protagonist trainer for Kanto. Leaf, being a remake, Fire and LeafGreen are basically Red and Blue, but again, with a new look. Which means all of the Pokemon and other characters are the same, which is what I like about the remakes, since Red and Blue age quite wonky. The originals have a ton of glitches, while the remakes are pretty smooth, though it doesn't mean they're flawless. One of the major criticisms of FireRed and LeafGreen are how you couldn't obtain non-Gen 1 Pokemon until you beat the game. You don't get Generation 2 or 3 Pokemon until then. For example, Crobat is a Gen 2 Pokemon that evolves from Golbat with Friendship Points, which is Pokemon lingo for just use it a ton and might evolve. With the whole Gen 1 only thing, that means you can evolve Golbat for the whole game until you beat the champion, basically. Always thought that was kinda silly. There's a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon I like, but still. From what I've seen, Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen are like the fresh bread of Pokemon games, or like the .png of Pokemon games. Whenever a TV show parodies Pokemon games, it's probably referencing these versions because of how basic they are. And I'll have to agree. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I like that it's a refined version of the original Game Boy games. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think it does that job pretty well. I want to dive deeper on what I feel about these games. Going with FireRed, Alright, now it's time to check this guy out again.
Welcome, young trainer. I'm Professor Oak, the Pokemon Professor. This is my lab, where the magic of Pokemon truly begins.
Oh, cool lab.
Hey there, Gramps.
Hey,
Blue.
Blue, my grandson. Would you both like a Pokemon?
So, this is Pallet Town. Professor Oak is here to give me my first ever Pokemon. I like Charmander the most. Now I have Ambre, my little fiery buddy. And there's my rival, Blue, the sniffing guy. Oh look, Route 1. Now I've entered Viridian City. I should definitely check the Pokemon out.
Hey, can you drop this off for Professor Oak in Pallet Town?
Going back home, Oak hands me a Pokedex. Back to Viridian, there's a gym here, but it's closed for now. Route 2 and Viridian Forest are next to explore. Oh look, Pikachu. Now I've reached Pewter City. Pretty cool city, a lot of rocks. The first gym is here, with the rock man himself, Brock. He's tough since Charmander is weak against rock, but I managed to beat him. After the rock gym, I go after the trainer-infested Route 3. Ambre has evolved into Charmeleon. Route 3 leads to Mount Moon, the first cave. Mount Moon is mostly known for being the area where Clefairy live. I love pink Pokemon, they're cute, especially Clefairy. Suddenly, a Team Rocket grunt appears. Seems like the team is here to harvest a ton of fossils in the cave. A scientist guy allowed me to pick one fossil. You could go back to Pewter City to get the fossil Pokemon, but I decided to move on to Route 4. I noticed that the routes and Pokemon I came across are a bit same-ish compared to recent games. Sure, Route 3 has a mountain nearby and Viridian Forest is all bushy, but most routes are mostly grass. It's based on the first game after all, so I'll give that a pass. Looks like Cerulean City is next. Checking up north, there's Blue. Once again, acting all cool. Hold on, let me fix something real quick. There we go. Route 24, huh? Guess whoever runs Kanto forgot the number 5. Jokes aside, I love this area a ton, with the Nugget Bridge being these guys and the last guy actually being a Team Rocket member. Hate it when that happens whenever I cross a bridge. After beating him, finally, Route 25. Guess they didn't want Route 24 to be that long. There's a cottage at the end. So that's how Mystery Dungeon happened. This is Bill, the PC guy. He gave me a ticket for a ship, which is cool. Wish that happened in real life. I went back to Cerulean to challenge Misty, the water-type gym leader. The power of just really thinking about my Pokemon, I defeated her. There we go, Route 5. There is this area called the Underground Path, which leads us to Vermilion City, my favorite city. I already like the music of Vermilion. Always makes me think about the sea. Speaking of seas, oh boy, ship time! On to the SS Anne! Oh look, Blue! Rub the captain's back, and he gives me the HM cut. Now back to Vermilion. Bye bye SS Anne, bye bye. Though I want to backtrack for a bit. Welcome to Diglett's Cave, where you can catch a Diglett, a trio, and that's about it. The local biodiversity here is truly outstanding. I went back to Route 3 to find one of my favorite Pokemon, the Nidoran female. I love this silly weird rabbit thing. She's very rare in FireRed. She's more common in LeafGreen, and vice versa with Nidoran male. I hope I get one shiny Spearow? After getting a golden bird, I finally found Maggie again. After that's done, I backtrack to Cerulean and go right. Rock Tunnel is here, a very dark and neat cave. I just realized that I had a moonstone, actually. I should use that to make Maggie evolve into her final form. Boo! Lavender Town. There's a big spooky tower here, but there's something called Sylph Scope that looks interesting if I want to go further into it. Let's go around with Route 8, one underground tunnel later. Celadon City. Oh look, the Celadon Game Corner, where kids become men. For better or for worse. I'm thinking on where to go. How about you, Gao? Ah, the department store. Alright, this place has evolution stones. I guess this is where Gao wants to go. The Thunderstone has been bought, and Gao becomes a Raichu. This is the next gym, which is all about grass types. Ambre can beat the gym leader Erica easily. Firstly, he has to beat the other trainers. But it looks like Earhart does great as well. I don't mention her that much, but still. All done. Now 4 badges left. Let's check the Celadon Game Corner, which is actually called the Rocket Game Corner. There's a suspicious guy guarding a poster. I wonder how much he gets paid to do that. He gets absolutely obliterated by Maggie. It's not really that fair, honestly. He's just like 10 levels lower. What a silly guy. Looks like I've found Team Rocket's hideout. You know what that means? It's raiding time. Finally, the Team Rocket boss himself, Giovanni. We could settle it with a nice pizza, but battling is fine also. Watch this. I gave Ambre the TM Dig, which makes his Onyx absolutely useless. Would you look at that? Next up is Rhyhorn. Absolutely mopped the floor with it. Wow. Now lastly, Kangaskhan. Seems like Giovanni was a bad influence to the little guy. Luckily Maggie's here to teach them both a lesson. Or well, 3. I've beaten him. Maybe he'll bring some gabagool next time. After Giovanni handed me the Self Scope, I go back to Lavender Town. You know, this boogie place I just went to earlier. I can head to Pokemon Tower and go there fully. There's a bunch of possessed channels. Yeah, they're everywhere and they're possessed. They all have either Ghastly or Haunter, mostly because they're the only ghost types you can really get. I actually caught Ghastly and named her Susie. Well, you can't really get Gengar without trading, so it'll just be like a nice little set piece. I like this funny little ghost ball. Finally, Ambre evolved into Charizard. I love this knot dragon. Zoinks, a knot Pokemon. But with the help of the Self Scope, it is a Pokemon. A Marowak. I calmed it down and let's go higher. There's some Team Rocket guys here. They're easy. I then talk to this guy. He takes me to his home and gives me a Pokeflute. After all the Lavender Town stuff is finished, let's go back to Route 8, give some tea to the station guy right there. I guess he really likes pocket tea. He'll share it to the other station guards. How nice of them. Guess they all like sweaty tea. Finally at Saffron City. A very nice and big city. Looks like the company building of Self Co is in trouble. Let's go help the Kanto economy. The building layout's kind of funny. Who thought teleportation tiles and dead ends were a good idea for an office? It's less of an office and more so a OSHA violation. The Team Rocket grunts can put up a good fight, but seems like it's bring your worst Pokemon to work day for these guys. But to be fair, they're the villains, so I don't think they'll treat their own Pokemon that well. Why is Blue doing here? Oh, of course, battling. His team is looking good. I should work on mines later. There's a self-employee here. And hey, look, he gives me a Lapras. Oh, we meet again, Giovanni. Wow.
You come to my office, you challenge my operation, and you think you're gonna walk out of here with your Pokemon One Piece?
Maybe. Alright, time to battle Giovanni again. Hey, I'm the one with the Needle Queen, you copycat. There you go. Giovanni has been defeated a second time. Now the president of the company gives me a Master Ball as a gift. I wonder how much Master Balls actually cost. Now that all the business in Saffron City is done, I go back to Lavender Town to go south, to Route 12. I always had a thing for bridges on water, and the music really screams Pokemon. Like really. I begin to wake up a natural traffic jam, also known as Snorlax. Based on a real guy, by the way. There we go, I caught him. Welcome to the club, snoozer. Fuchsia is the next city. It's like a zoo in here. I should definitely check on the Safari Zone. I got Paris. I'll name it Fiend. You can find a lot of rare Pokemon in the Safari Zone. I'm more into just finding them in regular routes, but still I think it's pretty neat. I found gold teeth on the floor. Like grills, I think. I've also found the secret house. This guy gave me the HM Surf. How nice. I gave this gentleman his grills back and he gives me the HM Strength. I went ahead to challenge the gym leader of Fuchsia City, Koga. He's into poison types. How toxic. Gal did really well in this battle. I'm proud of her. Thanks to her, I have obtained the Soul Badge. This is Route 18, the cycling route. Oh, and 17. Can't forget about that. Airhunt evolved into Pidgeot. Pidgeot is very cool, however I already got a flying type with Ambre. Always wondered how these routes work. Since well, there's cycling areas, but there's also grass areas on both sides, which means it's also just land. Even though it kind of looks like a bridge. Waking up another Snorlax. There's one Pokemon that I really want to get, and it's Magikarp, of course. Well, that's not very nice. I'll name you Doofball. Now Doofball became an awesome Gyarados. Alright, now for the Saffron gym leader, Sabrina, who specializes in psychic types. Honestly, I didn't know what I was expecting. Doofball just made everything much easier. I surfed my way to Cinnabar Island. Let's check out Pokemon Mansion. I wonder why it's called that. Hey, because there's a lot of Pokemon here. Let's challenge the next gym leader. I like this gym's gimmick. It's just simple quizzes.
Yeah, I like those fire types. They're very fire.
I wonder if he's okay. Goofball makes this gym very, very easy. Oh, hey, Bill. Seems like he wants me to go to an island called 1. Alright. So this is 1 island. Reminds me of home. I already like the 7 islands. I think it builds Kanto much bigger and nicer. And by bigger and nicer, I mean it makes Kanto more open and have more story. I should just, explore around the islands. There's much more double battles than usual. Looks like Goofball and Maggie are teaming up. Look at them go. The thing about Pokemon is, I've always seen the Pokemon themselves as the main attraction for the franchise for me. Sometimes I get wary about sending Pokemon to battle because I don't want them hurt. But I know when I get older I'll realize that they do it just to protect their trainer, me. I've entered a golden forest and there's a little girl named Nostel. Wow. Oh hey Hypno. Alright, back to Kanto. I'm back to Viridian City. Now I have to go to the final gym. I wonder what it'll be. It looks like a place for waste management.
Yeah, it's me, I'm the gym leader. What you gonna do about it?
Alright, final battle with Giovanni. Let's see how this goes. He was a ground type gym leader this whole time.
Wow, you defeated me. What am I gonna do with Team Rocket now?
Maybe we can just, disband.
Or maybe you're right.
Wanna get some Gabagool?
Sure.
After getting Gabagool with Giovanni, let's check up on our team. Ambre, Gao, Maggie, Goofball, Fiend, and Snoozer. I went to Route 22 and meet Blue. Alright, he's beaten. Hopefully we'll never see him again. Alright, Victory Road. Boulder Badge? Check. Cascade Badge? Check. Thunder Badge? Check. Rainbow Badge? Why, check of course. Soul Badge? Check. Marsh Badge? Seems like a check to me. Volcano Badge? I think my check has been burnt. And finally, Earth Badge. Check. Alright, I'm here. First up, Lorelei, the Ice-type Elite Four. I thought Ambre would be a good fit, but seems like Gao also helped out a lot too. At least Ambre also got Jinx, which is pretty cool. Next up is Bruno. He proclaims to be all about fighting types, but he seems more like a rock type guy to me. Talk about false advertising. His only threat is Machamp, but the other Pokemon he has are pretty easy. Thankfully, I made sure to stack up on healing items. Third is Agatha. She does ghost types. Professor Oak used to know her, which is interesting. She inflicts a lot of status conditions, but 2 can play in that game. Her Gengar is the most toughest one, but I don't think it's as tough as Bruno's Machamp. Mostly just spams a lot of conditions. Now for the 4th member, Lance. He uses Dragon-type Pokemon and is actually kinda tough. He should get a promotion. Alright, it's time for the champion. I guess he forgot his name. Let's get in now. 3, 2, 1. Blue! I never could have guessed. Alright, this battle will decide if my Pokemon trust me or not. Alright. Alright, final blow. Goofball, you may have a funny name, but at least you're very powerful. Let's end it. Oh hey Oak, look, I'm a champion now. Look at all my Pokemon. Kanto truly is fun. I wonder where should I go next. Maybe I should think about it later. Pokemon FireRed is what got me into the franchise and made me fall in love with the games. Looking back, it's not the most out there title, but I'm glad it isn't. I love that it's a basic Pokemon experience. A bit confusing, yeah, since it's not that linear, but still. The post-game is nice too. You get to catch Mewtwo, the 3 legendary birds, and newest of all, even the Deoxys. In conclusion, Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen are titles in the Pokemon franchise that exist. However, they exist for good reasons, and are why I love Pokemon myself. I'll be going now. See ya.
Hey, son, I decided to get rid of the whole Team Rocket showbiz. Hey, I understand we are not in the best terms, but I met some rascal and maybe you'd like to meet him.
What do you mean?
Well, he's short. Not the Pokemon, but not a human either.
What are you talking about?
You'll meet him sooner or later.
Whatever you say, Dad.
Alright, hang on tight, Silver.